photographic print just submitted to the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed. And there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is only a possible perpetrator of this crime. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force a trial from here. What? You mean, this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There is no need to defeat the truth's justice. A fact you can now chew on in your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime I didn't commit? Kazuma. His agreement of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis we can argue to continue. Is there really no? Now hold on. I have a problem right here. You can't see through the whole thing. You can only see through the side. Because if you can see through the whole bag, we should be able to see the other side of the table right here. We should be able to see the table. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems we'll be able to report to the Britain government on time after all. That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Having considered all the evidence placed before me, I hereby find you... Hold it! Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke! I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the court.
Yes!
Yes, it is. But, Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As this photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then the ruling on this case at the time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw. This is blatant straw collecting. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is a handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. Yes, there is. You can't see fully through it. Better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone its court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate. This isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. Well, I could put my finger on it. Well, we're about to put our finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with an immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Is he threatening me? He's threatening me right here. It's like, you get one opportunity. If you don't make me happy, I'm sending you to jail. Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonuga submitted before. You will identify to the court where this print will see a significant detail to which you have alluded. Just to be on the safe side. Because I do not trust myself. The significant thing is you can't see through this.
Yes!
Just here.
Attention!
Okay, how is that not it? You can't see through the bag. Is it this? Is it the marking?
Yes!
Okay. Alright. Look at this here. It's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. Looks almost like a burn of some description.
Attention!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you'd come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly, it has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he performed the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it on his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? No possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of the mark. However, as far as Aochi points out, unless a firm connection to the case has been shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a direct appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from stand now. No. No. No, 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 no. I'm sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? I believe the burn does have something to do with this case. To be honest, I'm not really sure. If you don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking to keep. So I seem to keep digging and digging in hopes I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am. We can just link that burn to the case. If we can do that, we might be able to praise this shutting door back again. Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. afraid without evidence, we cannot allow you to pursue this little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence? Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between the burn and the case. This is a moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what burn really means. So the defense will now present evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Why, wait, that's the mark right there. Why would his hand have been on the plate? Like, okay, maybe I know how it happened. It happened during this, like, they set his hand on the, like, somehow his hand got placed on the skillet, which it's burning hot, and it left a burn mark on his wrist. I think that's it.
Yes!
What's this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at scenes, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusual shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, let's see how this plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What in this photograph explains the reason for the victim's burn? Right there.
Yes!
The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Oh! Oh! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there is an emblem on the plate. I would guess that it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ryunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It's most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor G, chances of that are extremely slim. The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was set at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It is inconceivable that the victim would have let out a scream of pain then, because it happened post-mortem. I've been investigating at that restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the lead waiter at La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter.
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burns themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any day before it. That's right. That's right. The strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? It happened post-mortem. When they moved her plate to his spot. Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate, or anything like 3 seconds on that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ryuji? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think they're starting to understand? Aren't we deriving a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of the apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered a burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. There's no other explanation. There's no way he didn't notice the burn. There's absolutely no way he would have felt it. There's no evidence that he was ever free. If he was already dead and his wrist got, like if he had his hand up taking a drink and he got shot and killed, dropped his cup, which might be the one she took, because it could have broken, because that would have been evidence to the fact. Like his wrist could have fallen on the plate, causing the burn. Like, that would make the most sense. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. It's clearly impossible, apart from one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible that the man was already dead. Huh? Already dead? Knowing what we know now, the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. What? Already dead? Wait, he was already dead at the time? Huh? Wait. Okay. Wait. Explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. You're absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. But clearly, he has no grasp on the facts.
Objection!
No, prosecutor. No, prosecutor Yuji. It's you who has no grasp on the facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered a burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe that the victim was already dead before, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But, Your Excellency... The justice system in our country may be in its infancy. But rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass it. You know, I just realized something. If she's not able to, speak or understand Japanese at all, number one, she has to, Professor Wilson would have probably known English to be able to talk to her in that case. But here's the significant detail. If she didn't understand what, Ryunosuke and Dr. Wilson were saying, how did she know they were arguing? Even though, the argument was a lie, but how did she know they were arguing? Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Excuse me, why is she able to speak now? Especially if it helps the relations between my country and yours. I'm sorry. What? Huh? What? Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all. But then why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as I am possible. Wow! She's just trashing on the Japanese language right there. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicate with all of you on your own level. Wow. Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentleman. We are truly honored by this. This lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. You need to see this to the end? I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally gonna hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea where the poor man's burned his wrist like that. When a waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides a gunshot. Is there some other way the man's life can be taken without leaving a trace? Please do show me. Poison! But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. She's hinting at poison. She's hinting at poison right here. There's no way she's not really like, I poisoned him and you guys didn't even notice. Shows how terrible your investigation is. Bet there's poison in his system. Bet. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. She's savage. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. You insulted the entire Japanese language, woman. No, not at all. Not at all. It is a delight to merely hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what happened here today. Huh? Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Thanks? Is that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irrationalness, Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I'd expect you notice this little bully of a student, as you put it. Doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. That clear. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. The victim's death.
Yes!
As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right? Dr. Wilson was permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although, whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Dear me. I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of the others in the court, it means bless you. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I think it means the exact opposite. Exactly, Ryunosuke. Anyway. As far as I've heard, the postmortem says besides the gunshot.
Yes!
It's true, but I have a problem with it. Yes, it is right here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on wrist isn't going to kill us. And there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. It could only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it hadn't cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make the burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on a hot plate as soon as it was brought to the from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
Objection!
And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you are able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Iuchi is right. There's some other way the man's life could be taken without leaving a trace. Please do show me.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace? If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there's always a telltale traces on the body. On the body? We gotta go inside the body for this one is what I'm guessing. Quite right, dear lady. And so our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased. There can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosanaga? As I've said, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation. There would be physical trace with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone exactly how you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady innocent into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Inchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspirations. Killing someone like that, no trick. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. My guess is we're gonna get it was present in this last statement. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Yes!
She's implying poison right here. She's implying it. Like, she's heavily pushing that. Like, oh, poison. Inferior? What do you mean by that? Lands of Great British Empire. The police stores everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right, La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. It doesn't even occur to your native detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand. Aha, killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she's beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting that our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Iuchi is finally starting to see it. Check on him now. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, it's not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony. Cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clues somewhere to help us find she can armor. Kazuma. What? You know, escape. There is one thing I noticed. Something that has been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. Is Hosonaga the real killer? Wait a minute. Is it actually Hosonaga? The detective? Yes. He seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I wonder if it might be significant. If it might be present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing on that statement one more time. You think so, but this time, instead of targeting a woman herself, let's see how we can get out the detective. Oh my gosh. We'll find out soon enough. I suppose once I press Miss Brett on the last statement again.
Yes!
Inferior. Yeah. So you investigate once and that's it. Exactly. She's that if evidence and investigation correction.
Wait.
Vital evidence may be lost. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett and her as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're not listening to someone else speak, you find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ringosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker, you can turn your attention to other people on the stand. Oh, come on, what? While you're looking at the other witness, you'll be able to pursue them with a You catch a person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever noticed a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so move the marker across, pursue him. Exactly.
Wait. Excuse me.
Excuse me. What is the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. Looked like you were thinking of something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you has to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It is delightful. Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find a fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention that the fact he is immediately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. This lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Sarutoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my part. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving the evidence you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. A crime scene thief? Well, looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this for example. Uh-oh. Wait. Is this a poison? Is that... This is a bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. Yes, it has lost all its fizz, and having been opened 3 days ago. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, no one's arguing that. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. Time's coming. I guarantee it. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept a glass bottle of water as evidence. Carbonated water is... Okay, I need to check this. Miss Britt. Hold on a sec. Label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. Must be a very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I'm asking. Go to France and ask. I just love how he's like, go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Okay, there's gotta be something else. What's special about this bottle? Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on that day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume your cross-examination. Inspector will kindly control his service. Okay. There must have been something in there. There must have been something in water. I am saving just just to be on the safe side. I'm not restarting any minute of this. But I have a hunch right here. Something's in this bottle. Like something's in here, and something to do with this bottle killed him.
Yes!
Something's fishy here. What's this? The bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Ugh. Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Oh snap. And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor, able to slip some poison into his drink? There was only one person who could possibly have done it. Jezeline Brett, it was you!
Objection!
This is outrageous! To such a horrible thing without evidence! You little rookie imbecile, have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even vaguest inkling if your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. Why? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Ahem. If I may, I will silence you forever.
Shut up!
Shut up! It is you who should be silent. Of course. My dear lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady, but what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. The cup she took, that's the one she poisoned. The poison would be found in that cup. She took the cup away, he didn't care. The poison in that cup. Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. What did you find, Inspector? I ordered a test for every toxin that is available in this country at the present time. We can find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbon water. It could be a poison, an unknown poison. Like, seriously. Test a normal bottle of that water compared to the one that was drank. If there's something different, red flag. What? Are you sure? Tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No! No! I'm very grateful to you all, Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrible affair. Thank you. We're not done yet. We're not done yet, you despicable woman. But of course, my dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything's falling into place. He was poisoned. Thank you, Counsel. To think that cross-examination has clarified everything. No, it has not. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, by his own admission, was holding this weapon is the only possible culprit. Done for. No, we're not done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further evidence to present to court at this point? I want to present that. I want that glass. That glass she hid. It has to have. That has to be the poison glass. Kusuma. Sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. No. No, no. What? Oh, the old man and his girl. Please, wait. What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding into the court proceedings, Your Excellency. Satoru Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikotoba? My darkest hour was nowhere left to go. Appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package. In a furoshiki cloth. Why is this case not over? No, come on, let the case end. Why is this first case forever long? This is getting interesting.